It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Welcome to the NBA on 2K Sports. I'm Ernie Johnson. Kenny the Jet Smith is here. Say hello to the folks.
Hey, hello to the folks.
Hey, Shaquille O'Neal is here. Say hey to the folks.
Hey, what up, folks?
The NBA's really rolling along at this point. Tonight we'll see the Denver Nuggets playing against the Utah Jazz in Salt Lake City. For this Utah squad, they've been dealing with a lot of challenges. They'd love to get back on a winning track. 7 losses in their last 8 games. That is not going to get it done, and they know it. And this evening, going head-to-head, 2 of the best rebounding teams in the league. Should be a serious bump and grind. Kenny, what makes these 2 clubs so great on the boards?
Fundamentals, Ernie. Fundamentals.
Okay.
You know, that's something that you can teach, but then there's something that you can't teach. Speed and size.
And you have to want it more than the next guy. And your instincts, you got to have like a great rebounder. You got to have great anticipation, a la Dennis Rodman.
Okay.
Yeah. And with the game just about ready to begin, time to send it to Kevin Harlan. He's got the call.
Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
The Star-Spangled Banner, sung by musical artist Linda Lynn. Welcome, everyone, to this presentation of the NBA on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan with Greg Anthony and Doris Burke, our game analysts, and from the sideline, David Aldridge. The Denver Nuggets come into tonight's game after losing earlier in the season in their last game against the Utah Jazz.
Well, listen, I've seen worse performances offensively, but no doubt that group was inconsistent.
Well, certainly it wasn't their best night shooting the basketball. What you have to do is now put it aside and get focused for the next one.
We are nearly ready for the tip-off, but first, let's hear from our very own David Aldridge. DA, it's all yours.
Well, guys, Paul Millsap has become one of the best NBA big men when it comes to getting steals. Now, Millsap says when you're 6'8" going up against guys that are 7 feet, you're not going to be able to block their shot every time. So you try to get it down low when they bring it down. It's all about being smart and using what you have. Kevin?
Thank you, DA. And Millsap is as crafty as it gets on defense, one of the most underrated players in the game. And a couple of big-time pivots going head-to-head tonight. Doris, looking at the NBA right now, how has that center position evolved on both ends of the floor?
Well, it seems to me that increasingly, unless you're a shot maker from the perimeter, you can't find time on an NBA floor. So certainly they've become more perimeter-oriented.
Right,
the ability to at
ready
least
to go?
make a mid-range jump shot helps the spacing on the floor. And then obviously on the defensive end, Kevin, the more valuable you are is based on can you switch and pick and roll situations, guard a variety of positions, say 3, 4, 5, and if necessary in an absolute pickle, can you stay with a guard if you've got to switch a pick and roll between a big and a small.
Now let's take a look at the Nuggets opening lineup. Chandler at small forward with Millsap the 4. Murray and Harris in the backcourt, and it's Jokic in at the 5 spot. Now here's Murray after the miss from Ricky Rubio. Lets it go from deep, and it's Murray, that time on the assist by Jokic. Murray's got the game going with his first points of the game for the Nuggets. Rubio outside. Favors with the screen. Mitchell's shot is good.
Well, you like the attention to detail from Derek Favors. Great at staying in place when setting these screens. Creates opportunities for his guys. Love it.
Now here is Harris. There's a good screen. Millsap a screen. Harris kicks to Chandler. Offline with his 3. Last outing for Denver, they won that game against Memphis.
And when you protect the rim, like they did in that one, it has a tremendous impact.
Well, I don't think there's any question when you're playing that strong a defense, it's going to have an effect on your opponent. And it seemed like they were getting their hands up on the majority of shots.
And the shot goes down. Chandler's got his first basket of the night.
And making plays for others, one of the many ways Millsap can beat you.
And Rubio kicks to Favors, passes it to Mitchell. Favors with the screen. Outside Hood. Favors with a screen on Chandler. 6 to shoot. Pass to Mitchell. We're just about 2 minutes into the first quarter. Good defense by Jokic. Chandler attacking. And some very quick points for him on that possession.
The defense making it way too easy for him on that jump shot. He'll take that all night.
Jazz have gone 2 for 4 from the field so far today. Favors with the screen. Chandler against Hood. Over Chandler. Hood can't get it to go.
Not sure what the D was doing there. Clearly a breakdown. You can ill afford to give a guy like him that good a look.
They grab their own miss.
That's a complete effort. Stuck with his man, gets his hand up, and then he doesn't hesitate to finish the possession with the rebounding job.
Now in the scoring column with that deuce. 1 for 2 this game.
Quick trigger from Rodney Hood. He takes no time getting the shot off after the catch.
Murray kicks to Chandler. Chandler with another miss. Utah trailing here. Here's Mitchell. Coming in off a 12-point game his last outing. Jokic grabs the miss.
His high percentage shot right at the rim, and he's wondering what happened.
And the rejection by Favors.
Derek Favors using that long frame to send that back twice on the pipes, Kevin.
And he wanted everybody in the building to feel that ferocity.
And we did. Yeah. And we felt it. Even over here, we felt it. They set the pick. Jokic a screen. The Nuggets moving the ball around. The dish to Chandler. That doesn't go either for Chandler.
Not really his best quarter as far as scoring. Let's see if he can eventually get back on track.
Hood can't get it to go.
Boy, for a capable three-point shooter, that's one he expects to make.
Here's Harris, and there's the pass to Jokic. Gobert with the block.
Well, this is the calling card of Rudy Gobert, a superb shot blocker. The wingspan is a thing of beauty.
Here's Rubio, and oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2. That one on Chandler.
Really the right play defensively. If you can't block, force him to the line. And Ricky Rubio, known mostly for his ability to pass it and create opportunities for teammates, but I think he's an underrated defender at that point guard spot, and maybe doesn't get the credit he deserves defensively.
Shooting 2.
And the first one at the line is good. And Greg, for Rubio, his defense is something that isn't talked about, but is certainly present all the time.
Yeah, I mean, he's smart, fast, he moves his feet well, and has terrific anticipation with his hands. Great playing both on and off the ball, and just aware of his spacing and a player's tendencies.
Both free throws good from Rubio.
There's that accurate touch of his at the stripe. He is locked in.
The Nuggets trail by 3. Now Murray. Taking a look at his stats, he's averaging around 9.5 points a game. Jokic sets the screen for Harris. A three-pointer off the mark. For Utah, they've gone 4 for 9 from the field to start this game off. Hood kicks to Gobert. Feeds it to Favors. Back to Gobert. Here's Mitchell, guarded by Harris. Just 5 to shoot. Another miss by Utah. Denver's gone 1 of 5 from downtown in the first quarter. Points out there have been hard to come by. In transition, here come the Jazz. Here's Favors. That shot off. Good work defensively by Millsap. The Nuggets trail by 3. Chandler right side. Over Hood. It's good on the putback.
Just has that feel for the game, a feel for how to generate points, and that was a thunderous putback by Millsap.
Now here's Gobert. He had an 18-point outing in the last game against Milwaukee.
And it felt like he was literally everywhere on the defensive end. Multiple rejections, stifling all game long.
Moutier, he's checked in for Murray. Here's Harris. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game. And here's Moutier. Here's Chandler. But he stays with it. Back to Moutier. Jokic a screen. Jokic with a screen on Hood. Millsap. Good. And Harris gets the assist.
So many ways for Millsap to score. I mean, off screens, catch and shoot, ISO, crashing the glass. This guy can do it all.
Here's Mitchell. He's got 6. The feed to Gobert. Rubio right side. Over Moutier. Here's Mitchell. They get it back. And the shot goes in from Rudy Gobert.
Boy, the length of Rudy Gobert is awe-inspiring. This guy's so good on the offensive backboards.
Moutier pass to Millsap. Millsap sets the pick for Chandler. Jokic a screen. Harris inside. Millsap has the open look. That's in, and he's now 3 for 3 and looking sharp.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any individual agendas.
And a first time out of the game called for Utah. This game coming after a loss against the Bucks.
Yeah, but they didn't roll over in that game. Had a good chance still to pull out the victory. Just couldn't come through in crunch time.
You know, here's the thing. They played hard. Strategy was solid. They had a couple of lulls, and it really cost them.
So Utah ends up going with the new group. Big group substitution here for Denver. Plumlee, he's checked in for Jokic. Kenneth Faried comes in for Paul Millsap. Terrell Arthur, he's checked in for Wilson Chandler. And it's Will Barton in for Harris. Now, here's Exum. He had a 12-point outing in their last game against Milwaukee.
And guys, it was just announced last season that the Jazz had transferred the team's ownership to a legacy trust intended to keep the team in Utah for generations to come. Apparently, the move is a first of its kind in major North American pro sports.
Shooting 2.
And the first one at the line is good. Greg, you look at the Jazz, that legacy trust means that all profits are reinvested right back into the team.
I mean, a tremendous move, recognizing that the team belongs to Utah and the people of Salt Lake City. This is truly a community asset.
Good on both.
Alec Burks, Kevin, continuing to develop into a dependable scorer. He's got great size for a 2-guard.
Barton against Burks. Arthur kicks to Barton. Arthur sets the pick for Barton. Faried, a screen on Johnson. Here's Barton. The rebound by Johnson.
Yeah, you love the solid screen, but what you hate is just the inability to finish.
Well, you know, that's okay, I think. Even though they miss, they still have to be happy with the shot selection.
Oh, easy putback. No one got a body on it.
Boy, I'll tell you, Greg, that's just inexcusable. All they had to do was box him out. You learn a lesson the hard way in that instance.
Now, here's Moutier. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. Here's Faried. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there. Of course, you've talked a bit about leadership, both on and off the floor. What are some of the traits, in your opinion, that make someone a person who would want to follow and the characteristics of a leader?
You know, I'd say someone who prioritizes winning, even at the expense of their own success. That would be the first thing. And then someone who's ultra competitive. somebody who's available on a night-by-night basis, somebody who doesn't let a little nick or a bruise impact their availability on a particular night. So unselfishness, competitiveness, and availability are three attributes that I love.
And leaders can be followers from time to time too, don't you think?
Oh, there's no question about it. You have to be willing to be a part of a group, and sometimes that means ceding your leadership position.
That one misses. And the Nuggets over the past few seasons have done a great job as an organization of collecting talent.
And with that steady approach, they've been able to develop a star with Jokic. The Nuggets took a very disciplined approach to building this team, and you can see the depth they enjoy, and it all starts with the job this front office has done.
And here's Barton following the three from Alec Burks. Can't cash in from close range.
Boy, too much traffic in the lane. Very difficult finish with the defense draped all over him.
The Nuggets trail by 5. Three-pointer, Barton, the basket good off the assist from Moutier. Barton's got himself going there, his first points of the game on the deep ball. Exum with it, now defended by Moutier. Johnson's shot is off.
Affecting the shot in a big way there. Excellent defense.
Well, you talk about getting into the space of the shooter. This is how you defend the paint.
Now here's Barton. Playing Memphis, he was nearly unstoppable. Johnson against Fareed. Plumlee with the screen. Off the screen. Not enough on that one as it misses.
Boy, that's just the kind of tight defense you need to play on him. Any kind of room at all, and he'll bury it.
And that is a major league flush right there, my friends.
And in a tight contest like this, Greg, that might be just what they need to get the tide rolling in their direction.
It couldn't have come at a better time. With the score being as close as it is, he had to make that play.
And here are the Nuggets now after the basket by Utah. Barton outside. Arthur sets the pick for Barton. Barton missing again.
Well, I'll tell you what, he's going to buy himself a ticket to the bench if he keeps shooting it like that. He has been putrid here this quarter.
You love how Joe Johnson goes straight up with that shot. He doesn't hesitate for a second.
The Nuggets trail by 7. Barton kicks to Moutier. Dishes it to Arthur. Plumlee with the screen. No one near Moutier as he lets it go. And again, Denver no good. And it's Utah's ball. They're on a 14-6 run. Kicks to Jerebko. Nice ball movement by Utah. This one for 3. He can't get it to go. And it's Denver the other way. Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off.
I'll tell you, this guy does some tough work on the glass, battles as hard as anybody for those second chance opportunities.
Now here's Johnson, guarded closer. Pass to Jerebko. Back to Johnson. Jerebko kicks to Exum. Burks for 3. Rebound by the Nuggets.
They hold the early advantage on the glass.
Barton outside. To the inside. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
And one of the things about Will Barton's game that to me makes him such a force is how unpredictable he can be. He plays at times almost like a man out of control, and it really does work to his advantage as he is a difficult guy to deal with in those one-on-one situations.
And he knocks down the first one. And to back up the point with Barton in his chaotic play style, he knows exactly what he's about. Famously saying, Greg, I'm so creative most of the time, I don't know what I'm going to do.
And, you know, that might sound glib, but it is just how Barton plays. I mean, a fantastic competitor who just does what it takes to win. He gives you a little bit of everything out on the floor.
Now, here's Exum. And looking at his production, he averages a little more than 7 points a game. Burks kicks to Yarebko. They set the pick. Johnson in the corner. He dishes it to Exum. Here's Yarebko. Another miss by Utah. And here we go. Fast break. Moutier's got it. Can't cash in from the high post. So at the end of 1 quarter of play, still a close game. Utah out in front, up by 3. Live from Vivint Smart Home Arena, you're watching 2K Sports. And Derek Favors known for his work ethic, and he talked about his focus on developing his skills.
Yeah, I just want to get better. I just want to keep improving as a player throughout the year, just get better, keep making strides, and keep getting better in every aspect of my game.
Well, the desire is there, and sounds like the commitment that he's showing is too. How far, Greg, you think he can go?
Well, you talk about desire and commitment, and then you throw in the fact that he has the talent that can be built upon and improved. One big factor will be injuries. That's the big X factor that determines so many more careers than desire. Talent and commitment, you need to stay on the court.
So far, it's been a closely contested game as we get the second quarter up and going. And guys, what's your take on Utah so far?
Tough defense throughout that first period, and it's really paying dividends.
Well, I think there's a level of physicality with them right now and not allowing the opponent to feel comfortable getting into their heads just a bit.
Exum and Burks, their backcourt. Johnson is out there with Yarebko, and it's Udo in at the 5, roaming the paint. That's the 5 on the floor for the Jazz.
There are 2 things, guys, as you know, that age gracefully in the NBA, and that's size and shooting. No coincidence that Joe Johnson remains a very effective player, even as he enters his mid-30s.
2 shots.
And the first one drops. And in his 16th NBA season, Joe Johnson, Doris, experiencing life as a reserve for the first time.
And what a luxury, bringing a player of his caliber off the bench. This guy's so well-rounded. We know he's a great shooter, but he's willing to defend, to rebound, and he can make quality passes. So much to like about this guy's game.
So Johnson hits 2 of them.
Well, we know Joe Johnson is a multi-time All-Star, and though his role has changed, he's still got that gorgeous jumper, Kev.
And on our sideline, our reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, guys, Emmanuel Moutier spent a year in China prior to the NBA rather than playing in college. A lot of people respect what he did while he was over there. He said, being in a foreign country, everything is different. It made me mentally strong. Now in the NBA, he said, you've got to have confidence because every point guard in this league can play. You've got to keep that edge and be prepared at all times. Kevin?
Thanks, David. Mental fortitude is critical, especially when you're a young player in this league. Here's Murray, rebounded by Yarebko.
Boy, I didn't think he had a chance of stopping that lay-in. What a gutsy defensive play.
And here we can check out the breakdown of rebounds tonight between the front court and the back court for the Nuggets.
I'll tell you what, their guards have certainly pulled their weight on the glass, helping the big secure it. It's something that coaches harp on all the time. Team rebounding has certainly been one of the positives here tonight.
Udo with the ball, looking for his first basket still in this one. Yarebko kicks to Burks. They set the pick. And again, it's Utah.
Well, you simply have to admire the shooting ability of Alec Burks. How good is he off the screen?
Barton against Burks. Passes it to Murray. Shoots from the elbow. Plumlee. Tough possession there. They stayed with it, but they just couldn't make it. Pass to Exum. He feeds it to Johnson. Back to Exum. Nice ball movement by Udoh. Udoh, and that comes off the assist by Exum. Udoh's got his first 2 points of the night.
Fruitful possession, just doing what they can to extend the lead.
Well, this is a perfect example of how you want to run your offense. Disciplined but determined. Nice possession, Greg.
Now here's Arthur. Plumlee with a screen on Burks. Shot clock at 6. They grabbed their own miss.
I'll tell you, he hasn't been able to find the mark all night. It's a big reason they're staring at this deficit.
Here's Exum. They get it again. The shot by Johnson, no good.
Oh, great effort there. That's how you defend the paint.
Well, that's just stellar interior defense. You can't ask for anything more than that.
And a good example there of why it's important to change ends quickly.
Well, that's how you attack in transition. Remarkable effort, getting as high percentage a look as you can really get.
The Nuggets shooting their 5th free throw of the game here.
And they've been ordinary on the season as well, just about 75% from the line.
So Utah ends up going with the new group. And then for Denver, Jokic has checked in for Plumlee. Chandler comes in for Kenneth Faried. And it's Gary Harris in for Barton. And Arthur, no good on that one. Doris, looking at the rich history of the NBA, seeing how it's evolved over time, what do you think have been some of the biggest changes from decade to decade as the game has evolved?
Well, for me, my fandom of the NBA began in the great Celtics-Lakers rivalries with the great players like Larry Bird versus Magic Johnson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Worthy McHale. You know, it's always been a stars league. I think it remains as such. You can move to the 90s in the Eastern Conference with the Indiana Pacers, New York Knicks rivalries. The thing that's remained the same are the stars. Style of play, obviously, is drastically different. The athletes are getting bigger, faster, stronger. Analytics increasingly playing a part. Listen, the game is in a constant state of evolution. Like Kevin Harlan, the game gets better with age.
Oh, man. Thanks, Doris. Here's Chandler after the basket by Utah. Goes back up. And another shot. Jokic, no good. Jazz leading by 9. Here's Mitchell. Off target there. That would have pushed the lead to double digits. Harris outside. And the rejection by Favors. And so the ball's out of bounds. Favors touched it last. Paul Millsap has checked in for the Nuggets. Deep 2 from Murray. Utah with the rebound. Gobert's got 4 rebounds in this game. Favors dishes to Rubio. He kicks to Hood. Rebound by Murray. The Nuggets trail by 9. Over in the corner, Chandler connects from three-point range. Chandler's got 7 points.
The D just sagged off just enough and no hesitation on his part.
Rubio the pass to Favors. Hood on the wing. He's guarded by Chandler. Favors. Utah the rebound. And Gobert kicks to Mitchell. A second chance effort. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. And when the Nuggets are clicking on offense, Greg, they are a joy to watch.
You know they are, and one reason is because they're one of the better passing teams in the league. When right near the top in terms of assists per game last season, and all players on this roster at all positions look to make that extra pass to get an easy bucket.
The first one falls.
Well, we know this about Jazz head coach Quinn Snyder. He has a wide range of coaching experience, right? He's coached at the college level, in the minors, over in Europe. And in today's game, I think that breadth of experience is invaluable.
That one falls, so he hits both of them. And you talk about that experience at different levels, Doris, different leagues. How does that help a coach like Quinn Snyder?
Well, Kev, we see the NBA game constantly evolving. In a lot of ways, it's becoming more like European basketball with the floor spacing and ball movement. So that experience can help him think outside the box.
And the Jazz with possession here. Wilson Chandler unable to get his shot to go. And Rubio kicks to Hood. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot two.
No wasted trips at all. They're taking care of business at the line.
And Rodney Hood played one season at Mississippi State, then transferred, played another season at Duke. A good floor spacer, Greg, at 6'8".
You know, it's his in-between game that impresses me. Able to beat his man off the dribble. He can hit that little pull-up or drop it off to a teammate. This guy continues to improve.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
That free throw good from Hood.
Well, the 6'8" lefty, Rodney Hood, such a shifty guy with the ball in his hands. Boy, does he use that hesitation to get where he wants.
Both free throws good from Hood. And from his time at Duke, we knew Rodney Hood could shoot with range. Doris, did you realize how well he could handle the ball?
Well, as much as I like his ability to create, I love how he protects the basketball. This guy is a low turnover guy.
Timeout is called. First of the game for the Nuggets.
Yeah, just ice cold right now from the floor. Time to regroup.
I think, Greg, they look lost and they look frustrated. Not sure how they're missing so many shots right now.
The Nuggets trail by 10. Murray kicks to Jokic. And 2 free throws coming up. Unable to get that one to go with all the contact.
And last season, how about the jump to true stardom that Jokic was able to make? There was a stretch where every game he just looked more and more incredible. Truly gave this team, I think, a franchise player in the blink of an eye.
And he knocks down the first one. And for so many fans, Greg, of Jokic, it wasn't a surprise to see his play blossom last season.
And boy, did he. Jokic is so skilled for a big man, having played point guard growing up. Still very young and looks to be a star for a long time.
Both good from the line that time.
Boy, he's got a great stroke from the line. That's not something we can say about all the league's big guys.
Here's Mitchell, guarded by Harris. Mitchell kicks to Favors. Here's Rubio. Trains the three-pointer. Rubio's got 5.
Well, the catch-and-shoot game. Typically, Rubio's on the passing end of it. Not this time.
Jokic with a screen on Rubio. Now here's Murray, covered by Rubio. Murray dishes to Millsap. Over Favors. Goes back up. And he got the whistle, so he'll have a 3-point play opportunity.
That's a nice play. You have to read and react in an instant to have success on the offensive glass.
The Nuggets have missed 2 free throws in the game, going 5 for 7. Moutier, he's checked in for the Nuggets.
One shot, mind the lanes.
Free throw, good. Jokic. Doris, back in college, you earned a master's in education. How close were you to pursuing that path versus veering into becoming an analyst for basketball games?
Yeah, you know, to be honest with you, I always felt like I would be a high school teacher and a basketball coach, and someday maybe I'll coach a boys high school basketball team. Very close, Kevin. I happened into broadcasting. I left coaching at Providence College. They put their women's basketball games on radio, and that was my entree into the business, and slowly but surely it grew every year.
But still educating still, right? I mean, don't you feel there's a part of education to being an analyst?
Oh, there's no question about it. You are trying to help that viewer to be as close to the action as we are fortunate enough to be, and sure, just describing what's going on. It's a lot of fun.
You are a PhD in broadcasting. Now, Gobert, following the miss by Gary Harris from deep. Favors with the screen. Shot clock at 5. Kept alive. Tries again. Can't get the layup.
And it's not easy to get those stops at the rim, but he does a great job with it.
Yeah, he can make it look simple on the interior when it's really not. He knew exactly how to guard on the inside.
To the inside, and it's Mitchell with the jam.
And he can do a lot more damage to the rim than that when he wants to.
Oh, you're right. And with the lead they're enjoying, I'm surprised he didn't put a little something extra on that one. Now here's Millsap. A 14-point game for him in the win against Memphis. And stolen by Favors. Rubio outside. Favors with the screen. And Rubio kicks to Mitchell. The dish to Favors. 6 on the shot clock. Mitchell's shot is good.
Well, he's kept them in balance tonight. This guy's shooting has put them in front.
Time called here. The Nuggets decide to talk it over.
And the thing that really sticks out when you look at Derek Favors, his defensive versatility. You know, he can guard the 4s or the 5s on the inside or out. And to have a player like that allows your team to excel.
And despite Favors' size and strength, he really moves his feet well.
And that's tremendously valuable in today's NBA. The ability to stay in front of smaller men in switches and pick and rolls. He has terrific lateral mobility.
Now here's Moutier. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. The shot by Chandler wide open. The Nuggets with another miss. Rubio right side. Chandler with the steal. And here we go with Chandler running it up the court. And the dunk by Chandler.
Just lackluster transition D. That is just too easy.
Oh, come on. You got to put up at least a little bit of a fight, right? He simply ran down the court and goes right to the cup.
And that replay brought to us by Under Armour. Another Unleash Chaos moment. One of the more exciting plays in basketball. And so it's Utah here with the ball after the Nuggets pick up 2. Chandler against Hood. Here's Rubio. A three-pointer, no good. The Nuggets trail by 12. Harris passes to Millsap. Count that bucket.
And they keep hammering away at him inside, forcing the ball into the paint. And a name that a lot of NBA teams were in on this past offseason was Paul Millsap. His ability to shoot from outside and play in the post was wanted all over the league, and the Nuggets were the team ultimately that was able to land him.
Here's what Utah's going with right now. Yarebko's checked in for Favors. Johnson comes in for Rodney Hood, and Alec Burks subbed in for Mitchell. And for the Nuggets, Millsap, Greg, seems to be what they want in the 4.
You know, he pairs well with Jokic and others on this team, gives them some shooting and rebounding, plus his overall versatility is what separates him. The Nuggets seem to jump out of nowhere to sign him, but when you look at things, it really does make sense.
Barton, wide open, he fires. The offensive rebound. Gobert with the defensive effort. Jazz leading by 9. Now, here's Burks. Last game we saw him score 14. They get it back. Nice shot by Gobert. Gobert's got his third bucket of the night.
Rudy Gobert is becoming a handful down deep. He's quick, he's confident, and he's got gorgeous touch.
Moutier dishes to Chandler. 11 feet away. Here's Jokic. And he battles for the ball and gets the second chance bucket. Jokic has got 7.
You know, rough start for him, but he seems to have turned the corner here in the second period.
And Rubio kicks to Jerebko. Nice ball movement by Utah. He can't hit that time. Good work defensively by Millsap. Chandler against Johnson. Chandler kicks to Moutier. The pass to Barton. Feeds it to Moutier. Jokic a screen. Clock at 6. Snatched up. Uses the glass to finish the layup. He's got 9.
I'll tell you, you're not going to find a much more confident basketball player. He always believes the points are going to come.
And it's Rubio penetrating. Rebound by the Nuggets. Millsap's got his 7th rebound here tonight. A floater. Up again. He doesn't hit that one. And Utah the other way now. They're off to battle the Clippers after this game as they'll be playing at the Staples Center. That'll be just one game played away from home for them.
Yeah, after a first quarter where they struggled from long range, they've really started to get it closer to the basket.
Here's Jokic after the basket by Utah. Over Gobert, and again Jokic. Jokic has got 11 points in the quarter.
I'll tell you, he's doing everything scoring-wise this period to try to keep them in it.
The feed to Burks. And Jerebko has it in the corner. Hits the three-point bomb. And the Jazz lead by 10.
Well, I think the best part of his tremendous three-point ability as a big man is just how much it stretches the defense.
Barton outside over Jerebko. And we finished one half of basketball. Jazz lead by 10. And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Kevin, thanks. Joined by Coach Quinn Snyder. Quinn, your team is competing at a very high level. What do you think that's happening?
Well, we're trying to defend, and we've been a little bit fortunate too. They've missed some shots, but more than anything, we just want to try to guard and make it hard on them.
Got to make them feel you. Thanks, Quinn. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David, and we'll be back after halftime as the third quarter gets underway.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, y'all, welcome back. Ernie Johnson here with Kenny the Jet Smith. That's Shaquille O'Neal. Thanks for joining us. And a pumped-up home crowd is behind us right now. Utah found themselves in a close game in the first. They never trailed by more than 3 points, and it was neck and neck the entire period. Their play in the second quarter was inspired as they turned what had been a tight contest into a 10-point ball game by the time we reached halftime. And Shaq, what did you think about what we saw from Utah?
Well, Kenny should appreciate this. I love the ball movement. They were in sync as a unit, and their assist numbers were impressive. Anytime you get 5 players working together like that instead of one guy doing it alone, it's always going to be a boost. That's the primary reason they're in control of the game.
And over to Kenny. What did you think about Denver?
Well, obviously, they were outshot. I thought they mailed it in too many times in terms of their effort. People weren't moving, they weren't screening, and they definitely weren't hustling. They need to hit the ground running to be competitive in the second half, or they could get blown out.
That's it for halftime. Glad you could join us, as now we send you back to the action for the start of the third quarter.
Now the second half about to start up and begin any moment. The Nuggets trail by 10. And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go for the second half of basketball. Taking a look at the Nuggets. Murray and Harris in the backcourt. Down low, it's Millsap and Jokic. And it's Chandler in at the 3 slot.
Well, an 0 for 3 start to the second half. They're going to have to start tightening things up on the offensive end.
Second chance shot, and Gobert with the lay-in. Gobert's got the first points of the third quarter up on the board for Utah. Nuggets have gone 0 of 3 and are still looking for that first bucket here in the second half. Millsap a screen. Harris kicks to Murray. They get it back, and it's Millsap with the extra effort. That gives him the double-double. 11 points and 10 rebounds.
That is really good work there on the offensive glass.
Gobert the screen. Here's Favors, and a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. Paul Millsap picks one up. And when you look at Derek Favors, do you think, Doris, he's maximized his potential, or is there still room to grow?
No, I definitely think he's got a higher ceiling. Favors is a guy who came into the league after just 1 year at Georgia Tech. So let's remember, he's still mid-20s right now. And the way this guy works, he's going to get better and better.
And that one falls for Favors.
Well, I think, Kevin, most people would say Derek Favors a throwback big man, right? The guy wants to be effective at posting up, but he can shoot the face-up jump shot as well.
And so Favors nails both of them. And a major renovation completed by the Jazz at the team's expense, over $110 million, Doris, to bring this 25-year-old facility up to date.
Well, everyone will benefit, right? New locker rooms for the players, better seating and suites for the fans, a new outdoor atrium that includes a solar roof. Even those who can't get into the game benefit. Large screens will broadcast the game to fans who are in the outdoor plaza. How cool is that?
And that one drops. Mitchell's got the lead up to 14 now for Utah.
The assist totals, Kevin, just continue to grow. They're way ahead in that category. Ball movement has been flawless.
Now here's Millsap. 11 points in the game over Favors, and so it looks like Denver will retain possession here. Gobert against Jokic. For the 3, Chandler. Favors with the rebound. Favors has got 6 rebounds in the game. Hood against Chandler. He gets that one. And that's now 6 points for Rodney Hood.
And they're forcing the ball inside, and it's working like a charm.
Murray kicks to Chandler. Over Hood. Chandler with another miss. Jazz leading by 16. From deep. And Gobert kicks to Mitchell. Off target with his 3. Denver's gone 0 of 2 from deep to start things here in the second half. Now here's Murray, covered by Rubio. Jokic a screen. 6 to shoot. Harris. Offensive rebound. That's tipped, and the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Hood. And Utah making a change here. Exum's checked in, and a switcher also for Denver. Plumlee's checked in. Denver calls timeout.
Yeah, I think Coach calls his timeout right now because he's not happy with the distribution of shots. Difficult shots, contested shots. You've got to get a better offensive rhythm.
And really, the Nuggets, a stronger team than many had predicted last season. One area that troubled them was the defensive end. And when they would lose, it was usually by being unable to come up with consistent stops.
Udo's checked in for Utah. Denver also making some changes. Kenneth Faried comes in for Paul Millsap. And it's Arthur in for Wilson Chandler. Here's Plumlee. And the rejection by Favors. Here's Mitchell. 16 points for him. And Favors kicks to Mitchell. Here's Udo. Dishes to Mitchell. Shoots a three. Utah with a fresh 24. And another shot. Hood. Persistence pays off as they finally hit a shot. Hood's got 8 points.
Well, how about the focus of Rodney Hood? The defense has got to feel helpless right now trying to match up with him in the post.
Murray, the pass to Harris. Kicks it to Plumlee. Over Udo. And the rejection by Udo. And he recovers it. And Derek Favors picks up the foul. That'll be his second foul of the game. Harris outside. Buries the long-range jumper. Harris has got his first 3 points of the game.
Boy, the screen doing its job to perfection. One of the oldest plays in the book and still one of the best.
Exum dishes to Udo. There's the screen. From outside the arc. And the foul called on Darrell Arthur. That is his first foul of the game. Full 24-second shot clock. Mitchell kicks to Exum. Right through the D for the layup. And the Jazz lead by 17.
Well, it's hard to question the size Dante Exum brings to the point guard position. He's unique in the game, Kevin.
Now here's Murray. He's covered closely. Over Udo. That one wide left.
I'll tell you, if he keeps missing shots, it's going to be a tough night to try to trim this lead.
Mitchell kicks to Hood. Lobs it up for Favors. Lays it in off the pretty alley-oop.
I really admire the presence of mind from Rodney Hood. He's terrific at realizing when one of his teammates is wide open.
The Nuggets trail by 19. Fareed outside. To the middle. Here's Arthur. That shot no good. Great tee that time from Hood. Exum passes to Favors. And then Favors with the dunk.
Well, how about the outstanding vision from the crafty point guard, Dante Exum, seeing the floor beautifully.
Denver's gone 1 of 3 from downtown since halftime. Fareed, a screen on Favors. A floater. And Plumlee gets it to go on the assist by Murray. Plumlee's got his second bucket of the night.
Not sure how he gets that pass off. I thought for sure he was going to pull the trigger.
They set the screen. Exum dishes to Favors. Plumlee with the steal. Now here's Arthur. Covered by Hood. Nice shot by Arthur.
Now, I'm not sure who was supposed to be on him that possession. I mean, apparently neither did the defenders.
Exum with it. Harris is there. Pass to Udo. Beyond the arc. And Kenneth Fareed pulls it down. The Nuggets trail by 17. And out of bounds as the Jazz gain possession. And a moment here to look at where the shots have been coming from for the Jazz.
And this is what happens when you are having a tremendous offensive game. That they are getting great looks and knocking down shots all over the floor. I don't think we're going to see them deviate from this approach from here on out. They've got the recipe for success.
Utah leading by 17. Now Exum. There's the pick. Hood kicks to Udo. Favors with the screen. Passes to Mitchell. Off the screen. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
Well, without great floor spacing, the Jazz have to work harder than most teams to find quality shots. They're very patient and methodical running their offense.
He's gone 2 for 2 at the line so far. The first free throw is good. And the Jazz run a half-court offense. A lot of cuts and screens to create their shots.
Well, they are right near the top in what we call screen assists. Shots created off a screen. Ironically, not a ton of regular assists, despite all the passing required in their offense.
Johnson, he's checked in for Utah. Alec Burks comes in for Hood. He's perfect from the line this time.
Impeccable from the line since halftime.
The Nuggets trail by 19. Denver calls timeout. And All-Star Week, a fan favorite certainly, Doris. We all love it as broadcasters, as fans. But are there any changes you'd like to make in any event or the weekend overall?
Well, I think one thing that would be fascinating to me is to see the best players, for instance, the Klay Thompsons, the Steph Currys, those people, the best shooters in the league, participate in that particular three-point contest. Think back to Larry Bird when he walked in the locker room and said, who's coming in second tonight? Like, those are great. We can't get enough of our stars. I'd like to see the stars have to participate in at least one event, Kev.
Good thoughts.
And after defending on the shot, he doesn't give up on the play. Follow that straight to the glass for the rebound.
Exum kicks to Udo. And Udo with the stuff.
Absolutely the prettiest play in basketball, executed to perfection.
I don't think you'd get an argument there. Everybody loves the alley-oop. And the replay presented by Under Armour. Unleash chaos, giving us the chance to enjoy that alley-oop all over again. Count it.
Boy, defender taken out of the play with a rock-solid screen. No way he's going to get through that.
Exum kicks to Johnson. Jazz passing it around. There's a screen. Exum. And he didn't get quite enough under that one. The Nuggets trail by 19. Plumlee in the post. Udo on him. Oh, and he misses the dunk. And it's Jerebko, top of the key. Burks, the pass to Udo. Rebounded by Fareed. Fareed's got his third rebound on the night. Martin with it, and Burks picks him up defensively. Barton against Burks. Screen by Fareed. Shot clock at 6. Hits some rim on the way in, and the bucket's good. And it's 9 points for Will Barton. Utah leading by 17. Exum dishes to Jerebko. Here's Burks, and he goes in for the dunk.
Now, if you see Burks with a lane to the rim, he's going to flush it with power.
Denver's gone 1 of 3 from downtown since halftime. Pass to Moutier. Down low. And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Fareed. With a break in the action, let's take a peek at the top rebounding teams in the NBA this season. The Nuggets, number 1.
They are tenacious when it comes to attacking the backboard. Physical, smart, and determined. No surprise to see them at the top of the ranking.
And here's Exum. Burks kicks to Jerebko to the wing right side. And he lobs it up toward the rim. Hammers the alley-oop through.
I think you always have to be looking for the man in the middle, and he finds him with a great feed that time.
The Nuggets trail by 21. Barton kicks to Moutier. Stolen by Exum. Johnson left side. Inside. Plumlee with the steal. Three-pointer. Barton. That shot no good. So Utah will take it the other way. Burks with it. Now defended by Moutier. Johnson left side. Shoots over Arthur. And Utah again with the bucket.
Well, you love the confidence and self-control that Joe Johnson plays with him. Defender in his grill, no problem.
Burks against Barton. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass. Barton's got 11. Jazz leading by 21. The dish now to Burks. Pulls up on the elbow. Johnson can't hit.
The shot's there for him, and he's got to take it. I don't care if he doesn't convert. That's a shot he has to continue to take.
A different look for Utah. Gobert comes in for Utah. And Ricky Rubio subbed in for Exum. The Nuggets also changing it up. Jokic has checked in for Plumlee. Millsap comes in for Kenneth Faried. And Wilson Chandler's subbed in for Darrell Arthur. Now here's Moutier looking for his first basket still in this one.
You know, scoreless this quarter, and it's not helping them battle back.
Here's Rubio. And the whistle blows, so a chance here for a three-point play.
Well, even with the slight build, Rubio's strong enough to finish through contact. I'll tell you, Ricky Rubio, from the midway point of last season on, really started to shoot it well. Now, we know he's a natural creator and distributor. He's always been great at passing and playmaking, but boy, if he makes that jumper, look out.
One shot.
And on the offensive end, Rubio's playmaking, his most valuable skill, had a game last season where Dorsey tallied 19 assists.
Well, this is a guy, Ricky Rubio, who understands the easy pass, but he can wow you as well. There's an ability to thread the needle with a chest pass or a bounce pass, and he can do it moving or standing still. Simply one of the best passers in the league.
Offensive rebound, Millsap. Gobert with the defensive effort.
You know, they're trying to battle back, but he's missing shots this period.
Burks kicks to Gobert. And he was camped in the lane there, and he gets the 3-second call. Here we are in November. Let's see how things are shaking out in the West early in the season. You look at Denver. They're 6th best right now, looking to make a move up in the standings. And checking out Utah, 5.5 games behind.
And seeing where Utah is so far, it looks like the adjustments they made in the offseason aren't going to produce the desired effect.
And remember, this was a team that had talked about the importance of getting off to a quick start. This has been a worst-case scenario. Their confidence looks shaken.
No other way to put it. Just a rough quarter in terms of scoring. He has not been helping at all.
They're fortunate to be in front, given how shaky he's been from the floor tonight.
Barton passes to Chandler. Jokic kicks to Millsap. Over Jerebko. Millsap misses.
Boy, just enough defensive attention to throw that shot off target.
Burks dishes to Rubio. Can't get it to fall. And so it's the Utah Jazz finishing the quarter up by a whopping 24 points. Their defense has been active and effective. We'll return shortly. And we're getting underway here in the fourth quarter. The scoreboard tells the story in this matchup, but we'll see how much things change up here. The Jazz shooting at a decent 44% clip here. Ricky Rubio is out there with Alec Burks. And it's Rudy Gobert. And there's Jerebko. And it's Johnson in at the small forward. That's the 5 on the floor for the Jazz.
Well, Kevin, we know Joe Johnson is a dynamite scorer from the mid-range. You better stay attached to him in that area.
Murray kicks to Millsap. Murray with it. Guarded now by Rubio. Unloads from 13. Chandler, no good. Burks against Barton. Joe Johnson on the wing. Rubio outside. Back to Johnson for the 3. That's good. It's Rubio with the assist. Rubio's got 3 assists tonight.
He hits one in the first half, another here. Not prolific, but the defense has to keep an eye on him.
Millsap misses.
Wow, what a rough second half for him shooting the basketball. Maybe you adopt a pass-first mentality at this point.
And plenty of contact on the shot, so 2 free throws coming up. And there's the foul against Denver. Doors, with the players being so athletic and the plays happening so incredibly fast, the league is looking at maybe 4 or 5 officials. Wow. Would that just be more whistles or better officiating?
I'm glad you're chuckling about this because I don't know how the geometry of this works.
Thank you.
As it is, sometimes the size of the players seems to swallow up dimensions of the floor. Kevin, one of the things that Steve Kerr once said to me was, we are trying to make officiating a science when in fact officiating is an art, and sometimes mistakes is part of the human dynamic. Can we leave the officials alone, please?
And I think if they're over 90% correct, which is I think even low in terms of success in them calling a game, that is phenomenal. And the analytics, as you know, Doris, coming from the league office, is off the charts. They've never been more detail-oriented.
Correct. The NBA officials are the best in the world. Are they perfect? No. I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. Let's just play on.
So after making the first, he goes 1 for 2. The Nuggets shooting about 26% out there. They need to get a better look. Here's Leiden. The Nuggets keep it going. A new 24-second shot clock. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
And you know what? Very close to a three-point play right there. And the Utah Jazz, historically, they've always been one of the better franchises in the NBA. And it was nice to see them back in the playoffs in 2017 after that 4-year rebuilding phase. It tied their longest playoff drought since the team moved to Utah.
Free throws good, Lyles. And this Jazz organization operating in a small market, but over the years, so competitive.
Yeah, you know, and a lot of times teams want to take shortcuts to contention. The Jazz know they're not going to win the free agent bidding wars. That creates a kind of discipline that they're looking to build from within.
And that's good as he hits both of his shots. Doris, when you look at the NBA draft lottery, so many of the top guys coming out are one-and-dones. How is that, you think, affecting the way the NBA game is played and coached?
Well, obviously it can take time because the one-and-dones are typically 18, 19, or 20, somewhere in that age range. So you wonder about maturity. Their skill sets are probably going to be, you know, a little bit slower to develop. It's enough of a concern that Commissioner Adam Silver has addressed it. Whether or not the player representation will allow that rule to be changed about the one-and-dones remains to be seen.
And that's why it's so important to really be a good screening team. You get a lot of open looks from it.
Here's Neto. Gobert the screen. Burks for 3. It's hauled in by the Nuggets. Barton's got his 4th rebound in this one. The pass to Lyles. Lays it up and in off the pretty assist.
Clearly, he's one of the best there is in the business when it comes to making that lead pass.
There's the pick. Neto, the pass to Gobert. He dishes it to Burks. Here's Neto. Barton defending. Neto kicks to Cephalosha. Shot clock at 5. Here's Gobert. Rebound by the Nuggets.
Gets it to very close range, but there was no way the defense going to back off and give him that layup.
Harris kicks to Hernan Gomez. He feeds it to Barton. Harris with it. Off the pick. Utah with the rebound. Gobert's got his 16th rebound on the night. A shot by Burks. Nobody around. Another miss by Utah. The Nuggets have gone just 33% from the field in the 4th quarter so far. They are 2 of 6. And yes, it's good. Hernan Gomez has got 4 points now in the quarter. And we're about 3.5 minutes into the 4th quarter. Gobert the screen. Oh, the lob to Gobert. Oh, a nice defensive play to disrupt the alley-oop. Here's the break. Here's Leiden. Hammers it down off the coast-to-coast break.
Leaving the rest of the field in the dust.
Boy, what great speed he's got, Greg. Just phenomenal work getting all the way to the cup in transition.
And the Jazz call time here. Shortening the preseason, adding a week to the regular season to avoid some back-to-backs. Doris, how much is that going to help the players, you think, stay healthy?
You know, this is a fascinating development in one of the areas where the NBA was so proactive in long-term health and well-being of their players. Kevin, I'm anxious to see. Everybody was frustrated by the number of preseason games. They didn't matter. And so I think by taking some of those games that have zero impact on the season, zero impact on how you evaluate and put your team together, is going to be critical to avoiding back-to-backs and the dreaded 4 games in 5 nights. I'm so excited to see how this plays out.
Doris, we're going to get a better product in the regular season. We're going to see players fresher, less injured. I mean, it's a win-win.
Agreed.
Here's Murray following the three-pointer by Utah. Jokic a screen. Murray kicks to Chandler. And he can't answer back. The three-pointer offline.
Well, he had 1 3-pointer in the first half, but so far in the second, he's come up with goose eggs.
Favors with the screen. Mitchell. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2. That free throw missing. There's one trend we've seen in the league, an emphasis on getting back defensively rather than pounding the offensive glass. I think of San Antonio a little bit when I think about that. Why is that, you think?
You know, I don't know if this is something cyclical and we'll eventually see teams emphasize getting to the offensive glass as a means to help them win. But one of the most dangerous aspects of the NBA right now is transition 3 opportunities. We're not even seeing teams get back to the hoop and build their defense out. At this point, they're sprinting to the 3-point line and then building back toward the hoop. So a drastic difference. We'll see if it changes at any point.
Now here's Murray. Here's Millsap. Gobert with the block. The shot's good from Nikola Jokic.
And this has been a great job of just getting into the middle of that defense and really scoring effectively from the paint.
Here's Gobert, and slam dunk by Gobert. And he's now got the double-double. 10 points and 19 rebounds.
Not sure Rudy Gobert left the floor to finish that dunk, but boy, what power.
Jokic a screen. Feeds to Murray. Jokic sets the screen for Murray. Charity stripe shot. Hits some rim on the way in, and the bucket's good.
And that's what you give up when you don't fight over the screen.
Right, the effort could have been so much better. You've got to be willing to fight through that screen. There's no question about it.
Hood against Chandler. Millsap dishes to Chandler. Now here's Murray. Defense right on him. 4 on the clock. Puts up a 3. Gobert pulls it in.
And that's the battle they haven't been winning today. Their work on the glass has been porous, and that's got to change.
Mitchell passes to Favors. Gobert the screen. Favors can't get it to go.
I'll tell you, with the struggle he has had today, he probably won't be their #1 option as they look to close this game out.
Murray kicks to Millsap. The shot off that time. Now the Jazz take it the other way. Hood dishes to Rubio. Out to Favors. And it's wide right. Hits off the rim.
And that's really a function of the offense not working as it should.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's not how you capitalize on the offensive end. You simply have to be more patient.
Murray kicks to Millsap. The feed to Chandler. Millsap against Favors. Takes a shot at the elbow, and that one good. And it's 13 points for Millsap. Jazz leading by 20. And Rubio kicks to Hood. Favors with the screen. Here's Rubio. And the three ball is good.
I tell you, the jumper might not be the prettiest of pictures, but the offensive spacing improves dramatically when Rubio hits it.
The Nuggets moving the ball around. Millsap a screen. Off the screen. Chandler, no good.
But the effort's been there for him, just not getting the results.
Right side Hood. Fires from the wing. Off the left rim and out. Denver's gotten off to an 0 for 2 start from downtown here in the fourth quarter. Now here's Murray, covered by Rubio. Harris passes to Millsap. Buries it down low. Millsap's got 4 points now in the quarter. Here's Rubio. Doris, on the subject of league expansion, Commissioner Silver has said that 30 teams feels about right at this point. How long do you think it's going to be before we add another franchise or two to the NBA?
All right, let me just say that I completely concur with Commissioner Silver. The last thing we want to see when the NBA is at its peak in popularity is expansion that might dilute some of the competitiveness that we want to see happen. The bigger question right now is these super team issues. Are we at a point where there is such disparity between the best teams in the league and the worst? Let's address that first, and then we can look at expansion down the road.
So you do not like the super team aspect that we're beginning to see formulate it from time to time?
I don't necessarily want to say that. I think the jury is still out, Kevin. We have to see how the next 2 or 3 years plays out as it relates to both Cleveland and Golden State. I think there was a period in the 80s where it felt like it was the Lakers and the Celtics every year. Let's not overreact, but certainly let's not add teams before we make sure we are where we need to be from competitiveness standpoint.
Now Rubio, following the miss by Gary Harris from deep. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact and he'll shoot 2.
Well, Derek Favors has absolutely a massive frame, someone who can draw fouls due to his sheer size.
First one falls for him. Doris, some people are pushing for Holcomb Rucker to be inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame. What do you think are the chances of that happening?
You know, I think contributions to the game take many shapes and forms, Kevin. And obviously, Rucker Park is one of the most identifiable places in the history of the game. If you're a city basketball player, you know Rucker Park. You tried to prove your bona fides there. So if the committee believes Mr. Rucker is worthy, I am all for it. And after attempting no free throws in the first half, now he's putting the defense back on its heels.
Now here's Murray. He's covered closely. Here's Jokic. Good as the jump shot falls. Jokic has got 4 points this quarter. Utah leading by 23. Rubio dishes to Gobert. There's a screen. Mitchell kicks to Favors. Good work defensively by Millsap.
Oh, great effort there. That's how you defend the paint.
Well, that's just stellar interior defense. You can't ask for anything more than that.
Now, here's Rubio. Outside Favors. He kicks it to Hood. Here's Mitchell. Sinks the triple. Mitchell's got 11 in the second half.
Another triple, and that's been the story of this second half.
Boy, they have consistently been draining shots from deep, and that can take the heart out of an opponent.
Now here's Murray. And a big bounce off the rim, but it sinks right in. And that's 17 points for Jokic.
And the precise passing of Murray, really moving the ball well around the floor.
Dishes to Mitchell. And Gary Harris is going to pick up the foul. That's foul number 2 for him. And All-Star Week, a fan favorite certainly. But Doris, I've heard you say on more than one occasion you'd love to see a 3-on-3 competition.
Kevin, I think if you're trying to learn the game of basketball, putting yourself in a situation to play 3-on-3 is one of the greatest ways you can develop your game. One, it teaches you how to pass and cut, right? You cannot be effective in a 3-on-3 game unless you understand how to screen for somebody, how to set yourself up to come off of a screen. The shorter dynamic of the 3-on-3 in a half-court environment is one of the best ways to learn how to play the game of basketball.
I love that analysis. That's terrific.
Yes, and with this one winding down, it's obvious to everyone who watched it, just a total mismatch and a true show of strength for Utah.
Great, generous ball movement tonight, a thing of beauty.
Yeah, a remarkable team effort. They got everyone involved.
And now, for the year, this is going to take them to 7 wins.
And as we get set to put this one to bed, a one-sided season series thus far. They've won 2 straight.
And as one might have guessed coming into this game, it was indeed another big game tonight for Rudy Gobert.
Boy, you couldn't help but notice how well this guy protected the rim. There was an intimidation factor thanks to his defense. No easy shots in his neighborhood tonight.
Here's Exum following the basket by Mason Plumlee. Exum passes to Favors. Here's Udoh. Lays it up off the glass.
Running up the score, showing no mercy.
At this point, they're completely overwhelming them. The opposition looks totally defeated.
Now, Moutier. Harris outside. Trying to break that ice-cold streak. And here is Cephalosha. Kicks it to Udoh. Back to Cephalosha from past the arc. And the miss. And so it's Utah easily grabbing the win. They won this game going away. They were the better basketball team by far tonight.
And you got to commend this sort of dominance, particularly here at home. It's a great feeling when you play almost a perfect game and to have that crowd be so pumped up.
And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thank you, Kevin. With Dante Exum. Dante, still a young guy in this league. What do you want to focus on with your development?
I think it's just staying in the defensive end. Sometimes in the heat of the play, you kind of lose sight of it, and it's just about staying in there and just helping your teammates out. So,
a very young guy on a very good team. Thank you, Dante. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David. Great interview once again. Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, and the rest of our terrific crew, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.